did I write a recap last time? Because that's how I usually get myself.
Just did the
I
recap.
did. So all the way back in July 18th, 2024.
Biden was still in the race.
The party in
You're lying. It was not July 18th.
Yeah.
July 18th, the party informed Naren of their intention to side with Carmen. He's cool with it. They slept, meaning the party and presumably Naren. And Tariq and Roke had these mysterious dreams of green fire in Carmen's camp. They then awoke, and two of them left after hearing that there was something going on with Carmen's camp, I believe. Actually, no. Then the other three went to dine with Naren and breakfast, and heard that something terrible had happened to Carmen's camp, and that there was a fire, and they didn't know Carmen was alive. Roke then left. Then later, Pierre and Junia rode out with, I think his name was Jarlin, I believe, and Flay.
Yep.
And the party all got to the camp and were investigating, and have learned that the current prime suspect, Drak, the Westerling that was in the camp, has disappeared. And so some people, including Carmen, have him pegged as suspect number 1. Carmen then told Jarlin, the captain of Naren's guard, that if Naren wants her support, he needs to send aid to help rebuild the camp. Pierre are returning to report everything to Naren, let him know what's going on, and bring this news from Carmen, or this demand from Carmen to him. My exact words are, Tariq is freaking the fuck out because he wants to protect Jirok, and Graham is accusing everyone of being racist for assuming that the green fire, which is exclusive to Westerlings, started from Jirok, the Westerling.
We have a very small sample size that is a hasty generalization. I'll stand by it, or Graham will stand by it. I know that you guys
it was me.
It hard, but Graham felt you were being a little racist.
I was texting back and forth with Jack, like, "Hey, can Tariq sneak out in the middle of the night and set the
burn
camp on
Carmen's
fire?"
camp down? No motive whatsoever.
Real.
So Tariq's on the side of the merchants, actually, and you guys are actually going to side with the loyalists. He was like, if I just burn down all the unifiers.
Yeah, Tariq all of a sudden is just like, yeah, maybe I like the money.
I think the best way to open this up and get us going, would be to open up with Pierre riding to Naren's keep. Because there isn't a lot of movement at the camp right now. Everyone's just kind of searching, I believe, right? Is anyone doing anything at the camp besides... I know Tariq is looking for Jirok. Very, not even talking to anyone, just running around in a blind heat, looking for Jirok. And Roke and Junia and you and Graham are... that's the whole party, yeah. Yes. Tariq's looking for Jirok. The other three are also looking for Jirok, or sort of helping out in the camp, right? Nothing specific.
I'm about to look. I'm opening up the last session we had.
Thanks, Ivan.
Wow.
Yeah, we need to miss those volumes.
Ivan's gonna be listening to session while we're doing a session.
Ivan, what?
I was just re-listening to the last episode real quick.
It's on 2 times speed.
How do I stop watching this? Thanks. Okay, so Pierre, you're riding back to the keep of Naren the Baron on the horse of Jarlin the Farland. So you get
fucked up. It's not real.
Jarlin, the head of the guard. So yeah, you ride back to the keep. Hop off the horse. Horse is breathing intensely after so much trotting and sprinting. And Jarlin looks down at you. Or actually, Jarlin hops off with you and just walks over to some random. There's this servant that is watering some of the flowers of the garden in front of the keep, and Jarlin walks over holding the reins of the horse and hands, and the guard the servant just looks up and he hands the reins of the horse to the guard, and the guard just sets his watering can down, takes the reins of the horse, and Pierre and Jarlin start walking towards the entrance of the keep, and the servant is just left looking around, confused as he's holding the horse, but does not say anything. And the two of you enter the keep and approach. Jarlin looks to you, Pierre, and says, what's the time of day? It was apparently 7
It was very early, so like probably around
Yeah, so
9
we'll
at
say
the
it's like
latest.
8 a.m. You guys, he turns to you and says, "Been at least an hour since we rode out, so he's likely not in the dining hall anymore. We just follow me. I have an idea where he might be."
Okay.
And Jarlin leads you through the keep, and he leads you to that like to some room on the first floor. Actually, it's the same room where you guys dined with him that one time. That like dimly lit room with the circular table that you guys are all sitting around discussing.
It's like a
When you
planning
dined
room.
on that peacock, and he leads you into that room, and you know, but before he does like you guys go to the dining hall to make sure he's not there, and you go to like his like his courtroom with his like seat and everything. He's like big hall, it's like the main hall. He's not there, and that's when he turns to you and says, "Well, if he's neither of those places, then I have an idea where he may be," and leads you to that same room, and he leads you to the spot where that shadow figure of that guard, the large guard that Naren seems to have on him at all times, was standing. And you walk up, roll a visual perception check -2.
Oh shit. Okay. We are looking at an 11. I pass with a success of 3.
So when he leads you up here, you know, he's leading you very confidently. You get into the room and he stops in front of this just seemingly innocuous wall. And you know, you're looking at it first and you're thinking, just like, what? Why did he stop here? Where are we? Like, he's not in this room. What is going on? He leads you to the other end of the room. And you're staring at this section of the wall where the guard was standing, and you see when you like squint and look closely that there seems to be some sort of outline in the wall.
Hidden pathway.
And Jarlin like reaches his hand in, like into the cobbled stone of the wall, and it seems like there's this like perfectly camouflaged, like little slit where you can fit your hand in, and like he reaches his fingers around, and you hear like some sort of like rolling contraption as he seems to like moving his fingers, and then you hear a click, and he opens the door, and you see like the cobbled stone slowly like swings open as it's very heavy, swings it open, and you see even like the hinges are like painted to like blend in with the wall, and you know when you look at it closely, like it you know, and as it begins to open, you're like, how did I not see those hinges? And like, how did I not see the outline of the door and everything? Like, it makes perfect sense. You know, minus the fact that there was a giant man standing in front of it, covering it. It's like hidden in plain sight, but once you know it's there, it's obvious. And so he slowly swings the door open and leads you down this like winding long staircase, and you're in this long hallway, this long dungeon hallway, and you see, you know, he walks in, and there's he lights he like grabs one of like the lit like torches off the wall of the keep and leads you in with him. And it's just you, the two of you, walking in silence in the hall. The sound of your shoes clacking on the stone, echoing throughout the hall, and you can't see, like it's pitch black down here. You can't see anything besides like 2 feet in front of you, lit up from like the orange glow of the torch as he's leading you through. And Jarlin turns to you and says, "This is the Duke's personal portion of the keep. Very few know of this. I'm bringing you here out of emergency. Do not tell anybody, even members of your party."
Why does he use this?
"You'll see," he says. And you're following behind us, Susie. Don't look at me like that. And,
We're going to the sex dungeon. I'm gonna get sex.
It's the Diddy room.
and see, I wish there was a little button to just like mute you.
I was about to say you can't mute Quinn anymore.
I wish I could mute myself right now. I was like,
Okay.
I'm saying these to myself.
So he leads you past there's like several doors. You see all of them have slots for keys. They all seem, you think to yourself like, should I see if these are locked? I really want to know if these are locked, but I feel like this is not the moment to grab the door and start shaking as Jarlin's leading me.
Yeah, I'm walking through this. I'm like the player of I'm the protagonist of any video game. Like, oh, there's so many doors. I was born to open them.
And he leads you, and there's one door with a lit torch in front of it. And so you see like the orange glow of that light, and you're walking towards it. And as you're walking, you see like a rat scurry down across your feet. And like hear it like squeak once or twice as it runs into the scurries into the darkness. And you approach this door, and Jarlin walks up and like bangs on it with his fist, very hard and very loudly. And you wait in silence for like 10 seconds until you hear the voice of Naren come from the other side. And it sounds very soft. It says, "Come in." And he reaches for the door handle and slowly slides it open. And you walk in, and this place is very dimly lit. It's a decently sized room, probably equivalent to like a low class room at an inn. It's pretty cramped, but this is a reasonable living space. It's like it would be equivalent to like a small. And you come in and you see Naren standing in front of you, and you see he's
completely naked.
His back is
up.
his back is turned to you, and he is half naked. His torso is revealed, and you see like these like baggy pants beneath him, and you see that you're like shocked to see as you walk in to see that Naren's physique is a lot more developed than you had anticipated. Roll IQ for me.
I bet he fakes his physique.
He's pulling an Uncle Iroh on us.
I think that's a success of 5.
As soon as you see it, like, he is incredibly well built. He seems very strong. Like, he's probably a little bit weaker than Graham, but looking at him just at a glance before he even turns around, you're wondering if the two of them were to get into like a strength competition, into an arm wrestle, into a bit of a tussle, you wouldn't feel, you'd feel less confident in betting on Graham than you'd like to, just looking at him. And as you approach with like the lights of the torch illuminating his figure, you see that like he's covered in like beads of sweat, and more of the room is revealed to you as you see like metal bars with like heavy weights on them. Watching Susie's facial reactions is the best part.
Why does he have a secret fucking gym? Why does he have a fucking gym?
I like my first thought process is like, fuck, something's going up. What do I do with all this information?
No, he's just working out.
Time to go work the fuck out of my secret gym.
That's what Manny does though. When Manny's stressed, he hits the fucking gym. Like, I hear it, just why is it secret?
Any fear and nervousness that Pierre previously harbored is certainly here.
So yeah, you see like all sorts of contraptions that are clearly meant to build his muscle and strength. And so that IQ check I had you roll, you realize that you're wondering yourself, like, how did I not realize that he has this physique? And you realize that all of his clothing is either super baggy, super loose, or super bundled up, and just like hides it and covers it up. And so you reason that it seems like he's trying to hide this for some reason, hence why the gym is secret. He's trying to hide the physique and trying to hide his gym.
This dude's hyper paranoid.
Anyways,
can't even let my enemies know I got a six-pack.
He slowly turns around to you, and looks to you, Pierre and Jarlin, and his face is completely neutral. And he says, "Do you have anything to report?"
I turn to face Jarlin. I look back at Naren. Yes, we have reports from the remnants of the camp. We have no sight on the perpetrator, although we obviously suspect a Westerling, specifically one that had previously been in the camp. Naren, I feel like this is good to mention now. Me and Jarlin had spoke to Carmen, and she made it very clear that if you want her help going forward, you need to send aid and help the camp rebuild. And it was basically a demand.
See, he like scratches his chin and then ponders for a moment, and you see like he seems to like look up the ceiling, and his like mouth like slowly starts to open in deep thought, and then he finally like relaxes his posture and looks to you and says, "All right then." And so then we will cut to the camp. And why you look so tired? And our 4 other little goons.
Waka waka.
So, the four of you are standing in the remnants of Carmen's wonderful little camp. The red and orange embers are still like burning out. Okay, so Tariq was running around, frantically looking for Durak, looking through remnants of tents, just looking around, maybe asking people. I think what I remember is he wasn't talking to anyone.
I'm speaking in specifically Westerling to be like one-on-one communication.
Right, you were calling out in Westerly. You hear Tariq calling out in this strange foreign tongue.
Hola,
And
me llamo Tariq.
it sounds a lot more.
Donde
Yes,
es?
exactly. It's just. What is that? Spanish?
Yeah, it's Spanish.
Español. Donde es? No.
The Westerly language is just Spanish.
Makes no
And
sense.
hearing this language, it sounds a lot more appropriate for Tariq's accent. It sounds like Tariq. This is like for the first time. It just sounds like Tariq is fully comfortable in speaking. The first time Tariq has ever seen that way.
A language that Tariq learned in more than 6 months. Crazy dog.
It's honestly impressive that Tariq is basically fluent in English, but it's just a little plot.
Don't plot hole. Don't worry about it.
It would be a lot harder of a campaign if Susie had to speak in exclusively broken English.
Also, maybe a little racist.
Very.
just a thought.
Yep.
And Graham, you said you were helping Tariq. Roken Jr., what are you guys up to?
Last I remember, I was talking to the guard that came with me.
Flay, yep.
Yeah, Flay. I'll let fucking Roke do his stuff first, because I don't think there's much. I'm trying to think a bit about what the fuck I was talking about.
Roke's kind of just like almost stunned. Just kind of like standing around, looking to see if he recognizes anyone in the crowd. Just kind of like frantically, like kind of like turning around and like looking at people's faces as they walk by, or like just kind of looking off into the distance into anyone he could see, and just looking to see if he recognizes.
As you were looking around, you were hearing there's all sorts of different like cries of anguish and exclamations and loud noises, and your mind keys in on one of these voices that sounds a little bit familiar to you, and as you start hearing it, it sounds more and more familiar, and as you begin approaching it, you're like, this voice sounds familiar. I don't know why I recognize this. I can't place where I'm recognizing this voice from. And as you're approaching, and once you see them, it clicks that this is the voice of the person that was overseeing like the little place where you and Tariq, when you and Tariq first came to the camp, you were in like line, basically like in a queue waiting to get to the camp and like meet Carmen. This was the person in charge of the queue, and you see that they are like sat down on.
Oh, that's so cute. It's adorable. It's fucking cute.
Oh, I think I forgot my rat at home. Fuck.
Look at that guy. Oh, that's incredible. I need to shut the fuck up, but that's really cute.
Yeah, I got some good.
What's that then?
Junimo.
Sure, wait, I want to join in now.
Okay.
Anyway, so the guy's there. The one who was
from
in
the
charge of
queue
line.
is like resting on a like plank of wood, and seems to be receiving some kind of. Just turn the cameras on.
What is that? This is way too distracting for me.
Let's just look at us. And
Oh, that's distracting. Yeah.
I am pretty distracted. Is a plank of wood. Seems to be receiving some sort of medical care. It seems that their entire arm has been like received some variety of second and third degree burns, and is receiving like some sort of medical care. And you are saddened in some way that this is not someone more important who you are past, but
It was a little bit actually.
you did. Yeah, I mean, do you want to do anything with that information?
How like bad is this burn? Like, is it like, disgusting to look at, or like? Of
the flesh are charred. So if it's just like red, and burn, but there are bits that are like black and like peeling.
For reference, Ben, 3rd degree burns are the worst that you can get. 2nd are the most painful, but 3rd are like you are missing a lot of stuff.
I just didn't know if it's like I like look at it quickly and just like kind of see it, or if I like
purposely like look away and like back off. Probably what I'll do is I'll probably just like take a step back after seeing this.
Okay, Junia, did you have something that you wanted to say to Flay, or that you were talking about?
Ever watched a pod? It doesn't seem like it. I'm fucking just waiting for Pierre and the other one to come back.
Tariq.
Okay.
And Graham, you are searching, calling out. You're calling out his name, saying things in Westerling.
I'm not on anything in Westerling.
That's true. Graham is not. Graham is just silently walking behind Tariq.
Graham might point out to Tariq that might, especially if other people think the same way that we are about the green flames, that calling out things in Westerling might not be a good idea. We might be attracting unwanted attention. Just not going to stop you, just pointing that out. Understand what you're doing.
I also think it's worth noting, Graham, that just this morning I ran through the entirety of town without a mask.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
my
you're not
presence is known,
Yeah.
and I don't think this is going to change anything.
So you are marching around, running around Cranston, looking for this Westerling, one of your people. And as you're walking, you see there's this elderly man like limping in front of you as you're walking around calling out in Westerling, and he stops and like jolts up and slowly looks at you, and he's like finger like shakily like starts to point out, and he calls out in this like gruff, raspy voice. He seems ancient. His skin is like sagging and wrinkled, and his like legs and arms and bones are thin, and he calls out like, "You, they're saying that you did this," and starts like waddling slowly towards you, his like legs shaking.
Graham's gonna position himself like in between this maniac and yeah. Graham's gonna position between his friend and Trump.
That was Biden. I'm sorry.
I didn't see it. Sexy. It looked orange, honestly, on the screen, to be honest.
Fair enough.
That's Biden's true form. So
enemies to lovers arc. When
so
is
you
it coming?
Graham positions himself between them. And yeah, he just continues to get close, like closer and closer, and is just calling out things like why would you do this? Why would you do this? Why would you burn us with your evil magic? As he's like slowly, his legs are so thin they're like wobbling, they're like barely like supporting his weight as he's walking forward. And as he gets closer, you see that like there seem to be like some sort of like burn scars like on his cheek or like on a bit of his like arm and hand, and like some of his clothes seem to be like torn and maybe even a bit like charred, and there's like little bits that are like revealing bits of his skin where like the fabric has been like charred. And eventually he gets like
close to getting,
yeah, exactly, like within a foot, and he seems to be like trying to walk past Graham like forcefully,
oh my god,
putting his hand fully pushing his hand like placing his hand against Graham as he's like forcing his way past Graham towards Tariq.
Alright, Graham's not gonna let that happen.
And both of you, Graham and Tariq, roll a visual perception check.
Got it.
Okay.
Visual perception.
Just roll 3d6, it's gotta be 10 or less.
Do I have any modifier to it? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Success by 5.
We are killing it today.
Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Shut up.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
I'm gonna do this right this time.
Black hole, sun.
Space.
R space.
36.
Asher, can we have the rat
36.
back? I want the rat. I want to see the rat while we're rolling. Look at that
Kill it.
guy.
I feel my sight.
Tariq. So Graham
Yeah.
is hyper focused on this man. Tunnel vision on this like ancient, at least 80-year-old guy. And Tariq, you're looking at it and you're realizing that's this because he is yelling out. He is preaching to the an entire like burnt charred remains of the camp. His voice echoing out into the fields. And plenty of people can hear this. For such like an old frail man, he has a surprisingly loud and energized voice. You're right, it is more like Trump, less like Biden. And you see that this seems to be garnering some attention, and some people are like slowly turning their eyes, and there's like some murmurs in the distance behind us, and some people are like slowly and cautiously getting closer.
I don't notice that, so
Okay.
I'm going to respond first. Because he's trying to push past me right now. Graham doesn't notice that everyone is hearing, so Graham's going to respond just at volume for this person to hear, right?
Okay.
But he'd be like, "You have to calm down. He had nothing to do with this." And Graham is going to stick out his arm and like physically stop this person from pushing past him.
Oh, anyway, what did you say to him?
I just said you have to calm down. Hear me out. He had nothing to do with this.
Graham, I think our problem just got a little bigger.
Oh yeah, but Graham didn't see everyone else around us. Graham's just focused on this
No,
person.
that's Tariq saying that.
Oh, gotcha.
Do you have any
What the fuck? I'm not slamming.
do you have any influence skills like fast talk or diplomacy?
Something.
I would say fast talk or diplomacy are the two.
I think I have diplomacy.
Imagine if Graham had fast talk.
It's my shit.
Be wild.
I don't know like how that would even fit story wise. It'd be like they went gambling like once and got really good at bluffing.
Hold up. For some reason, it's not in my
Message Graham.
Oh, right, because I'm on my. It's fine.
Crazy dog.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Diplomacy level 10.
Less crazy
I got
dog.
plus 3.
Roll diplomacy
I got fast talk.
with an unknown modifier.
Unknown modifier. Okay. Instant fail is
Unknown based off of the reaction roll I rolled.
Okay. R slash? No,
Slash R.
R.
You should really just copy and paste it space. 36.
Big shock.
You failed by 7.
That was a good
Oh
pass.
no.
It was -3.
That we're
He
cooked.
already had a negative
Three.
modifier to his reaction roll because he obviously didn't like the situation, and he rolled a 7. So his reaction roll was like a 5, which is like almost critical failure for reaction rolls. Because reaction rolls are lower the worse.
Chat.
So he turns up to you, Graham, and he turns up to you, Graham, and you hear him talk up spit in his throat, and he spits it up to your face. Do you want to try and dodge it? Okay, sweet, perfect. It lands splat right on your nose, and like some of it like splats out like on your eyelid. You have to close one of your
I
eyes.
don't close my eyes. I stare him down.
You have to close one of your eyes so the spit doesn't go in.
No,
your eye.
I let it in my fucking eye.
Right.
If I blink a little, that's fine. But I'm staring. I continue staring down. I can open my eyes back up.
And open it up.
I think that
Do you have intimidation?
recognize-
I think I might. Yes, I do. Level
Do you
11.
want to try and intimidate?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so yeah, he spits out in your face and he calls it like, "Why are you defending him? He did this. He used evil magic. He's not one of our kind."
Here, wait. Once
was-
Graham
that was
finishes his
different.
roll.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's getting racist now.
Yeah, once Graham finishes his roll, I do have
Am I
something.
able to roll first to see
No.
how good or bad of a job I'm doing? I can't role play a shit job. Like that would be funny. Okay, that's fine.
Sure, you could go
there's-
punch Ben right now.
We've done either ways. We found that.
That would have changed what I did. That's fine. That's fine. All right. I'm gonna say.
It's also depending on what you say, I might give modifier.
Yeah. Looking at this man, can you describe him again to me?
Old,
His
frail Joe
legs
Biden.
and bones. It seems like he's been malnourished for most, if not all, of his life. He's been very impoverished, hence why he's at the camp. But he's very old. He's lived to be at least 80 years old. His skin is sagging and is filled with wrinkles. He looks like fucking Palpatine.
Mm-hmm.
And his like legs are so thin he can like barely hold his weight.
And we're looking pretty fine, right? We're not malnourished. You know, we've been on the road. We're fine, right? Okay. I tell him,
You could probably kill him with the strongest.
yeah. I tell him, look at yourself. Look at us. This is not the man at your camp. We had nothing to do with this. I will take 30 of you right now, with the two of us. You're skin and bones.
You said you take 30 though? Alright, roll intimidation, yeah.
30 was maybe too high of a number. I said the two of us, though. This could go poorly. Third fail of the night. Alright.
Where I'm
Turns
going
out this guy's
berserk.
actually not Harry in disguise. And just like the giant knight
Good,
armor
we're
that
gonna
killed
fight him
the
anyway.
Gurps.
8. And I have an 11.
Success of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you like you don't even wipe the spit off of your face.
And I raised my voice that time.
Yeah, you stand
Yeah,
over
yeah.
him, curl your body over him, and boom down to his in his face. Some of your spittle is like in his face. and his legs and arms his body starts to quiver.
His own space.
And his
rips
eyes
into space.
his eyes widen, and he gives you that 1,000-yard stare, like he's not here anymore, like his mind is checked out, and he starts to take a step back and stumbles and falls backwards onto the stone and starts to whimper. He's like, there was a second.
Commit.
Starts to give these whimpers and cries as he tries to back himself away from you on the ground. You then hear you then hear a male voice call out hey, what are you doing? And around one of the tents that are still up, he pushes the tent's empty, pushes the tent aside as he steps forward, and you see this man in he has a heavy leather tunic on, but it's just wearing regular clothes and boots everywhere else. And he also has he actually only has one glove on his left hand. As he walks up, and you see he has a belt with a sword sheathed at his hip, and he walks up and he says, "Leave old man Joe alone. What are you doing?" And points out to you. He has long, greasy brown hair.
I will instantly. Well, actually, yeah.
Roke and Junior, roll perception to see if you see this.
Sounds good.
If you succeed, you are aware of this. If you don't, you are not. Actually, roll perception +1 at this point. There's a lot of yelling going on.
Okay, so I
Failure.
respect and added a little bit of flair into Graham's character. By the way, you told me I could do that. I added I asked this, you said I could add disadvantage, right?
Success by 1.
I added on edge, so I need to make a self-control. I need to make a self-control attack. Sorry, I should have mentioned which one I get. You can say that it's not cool. I didn't tell you which one.
Let me read what it is.
Yeah, it's on edge, which means I need to make a self-control to avoid or back down from life-threatening situation, right? And I can retry that roll after each blah 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 blah. But basically, so in this potential combat, so I'm gonna say Graham wants to back down right now. Graham is, and try to de-escalate the situation. Graham has to roll though.
Yeah.
So what?
Wait, let me see your other disadvantages. So this is 5. This is 15. What was the other one?
This was berserk. This was the thing.
Gullibility and truthfulness. Okay.
Truthfulness was already on the meat.
So 5,
I think that's the only thing I had.
That's 15, and I think the max for disadvantage was 30, right? So I think you're above it. Do you want to make?
I can.
You can either keep this because it's perfect disadvantage.
I think it makes sense for
the 10-point version. I think what it does is it makes the ability to resist a little bit easier. That's up to you if you want.
It's fine. That makes it easier. I don't want to get rid of the other stuff.
Let me tell you what your self-control.
Sorry for complicating things in the middle of a role-playing situation.
I didn't know that disadvantage.
I wasn't aware of a when I was adding it. I wasn't aware of a disadvantage cap.
What?
So technically, it's supposed to be half of the listed cost to be a roll of 15 or less. But I'm just going to say it's fine with. Do you want it to be 15 or less, or do you want to how much was Berserk worth?
I didn't put it down, didn't I? There were multiple options of that, I think.
We can figure it out after the session.
Yeah, sorry about that.
We'll just say self-control of, let's just say 14.
14, okay.
Which is off the books.
I already got it.
Yeah, maybe, okay.
Check.
I think it'd be cool to see you fail this. It's starting to...
Well, so does that mean I have to go instantly into combat? Is that what this is?
Yes,
This is a
to back
combat
down,
situation?
yeah. And I mean, it isn't life-threatening yet. So, I mean, in my opinion, you don't need to roll this yet because it's not life-threatening.
Okay.
Because no one's threatened you. He's just walked up and said, "Stop harassing old man Joe."
All right. But in the spirit of it, I'm still not going to calm down. I'm going to continue with intimidation, and I'm gonna flip out on this.
I forget. Roke, you saw it, right? Junior,
Yes.
did you? Are you aware of the situation?
No, I failed by 2.
Okay.
Perception +1, right?
Junior
about
is too
that.
busy talking with Fled.
I'm going to continue with intimidation. I'm going to step closer to this guy. Step away from the old guy, right? But I'm going to step closer to this guy. I'm going to get up close to him.
Hey, a weapon.
He's got a weapon.
It's sheathed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't reach for mine either then.
He has his hand on it. His glove.
Yeah,
Get at the ready.
I'm not gonna reach for my weapon. I'm gonna have my hands by my sides visibly, but I'm gonna walk up to him. Get smaller. I'm bigger.
I didn't realize we were giving her.
We're acting it out.
I'm not getting smaller.
Okay. Graham's just gonna say, I need all of you to take 6 steps back. We had nothing to do with this. I will not hesitate. That's all I'm gonna say.
After you say that, old man Joe, as he is
On the ground.
named, he looks up and so like in a half whimper, half like he like cries out, like, please help me. This is the one. Him. He did it. I just like pointing past Graham to Tariq. He's like, him. He burned down the camp. He did this with his evil magic.
What is your
let's see
evidence? What is your evidence?
Roll intimidation.
It's racism.
Yeah.
Now you guys tell me it's not racist, okay?
Tariq goes, what is your evidence?
fuck?
And he does a Deadpool fourth wall break.
7.
They don't know I know
And
this
I
hack.
have like a was it 11, and so it's like a +2 or -2. Yeah, wisdom plus just yes. I succeed, right? Roll 7. Jack.
1 second. I'm just making sure.
I don't know the difficulty of
Is
it. Yeah.
subject your...
What was the difficulty of it?
Hold on, I'm trying to make sure I know how intimidation works. I thought it was a contest. Maybe?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But I'm reading the book, and it says that they have to. It mentions at the end that they made a will roll, but it doesn't explain. Can you look at it, Asher, and help me?
I don't know. That gnarled man didn't make a will real. He was pretty bitch.
Yeah, he was gonna. He was a little. Yeah, exactly. He was a little bitch. He had a will of 2.
So it's not a check, so I didn't automatically succeed.
Intimidation.
I got
It's not a check.
The result of successful intimidation type depends on target.
It replaces.
I remember it being a contest of intimidation versus will, which makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's a will skill. Yeah.
Stupid strength is what determines your ability to resist it.
Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna make the will roll for him. So what did you succeed by?
So I have wisdom +1, which would be I don't know 11, right? And so I rolled a 7, so I rolled 1 by 4.
4. Yeah. He okay. Yeah, he stops. Yeah, he failed that one. He stops and you told him we get 60 back, right?
Yeah. I was getting
he stops
very
and
stressed.
slowly and he does take 1 step back, but still stands tall, holding his like weapon at the tip, but he's no longer approaching. And you said your hands are by your side, and he calls out and says like, who are you? Who is this Westerling to you?
He's talking to me.
Why is old
I
man
can
Joe
speak for
standing?
myself.
Yeah. I was gonna say I want to let Tariq speak but yeah.
I can speak for myself.
Yeah, he
I want
calls
to
it
know
both.
there's no evidence that I have done this. My name is Tariq Pakol. I am from the Westerlands. I am Ka Kara, the Awakener of the Madhari prophecy. Do I need to explain myself further to you?
That's what old man Joe said. Yeah.
And Tariq stands up
I
like
should just have
a little
Asher roll
straight.
for old man Joe.
Tariq tries to stand up straight. He's trying to be confident. Character arc, all that good stuff.
Yeah, nice. The unnamed man with the long brown greasy hair and the sword sheathed at his hip, turns to you and he says, "Truly, you're part of the prophecy."
Damn.
Roke, do you want to approach? Oh, Ben's not here.
But to answer his question too, yes, I am a part of the prophecy. I have traveled and gone through more trials than I would wish to discuss to be here, and I am just trying to ensure that nothing terrible happens to someone who is yet to be convicted of anything.
He points out to you and says, "Prove it. Where's the rest of the prophecy? Why are you alone? Don't lie to me." And old man Joe calls out and is like frantically pointing out. He's like, "He's lying. Don't believe his evil tricks."
I'm gonna look to you.
The man,
Steve. Yeah.
The man to my side is a royal member of the House of the North. I have two more friends in this crowd. I have 2 more friends in this crowd from the South and the West, and I have a friend from the East who is currently consulting with others.
Roke and Junia, by now, there is a bit of a crowd forming. Roke and Junia, you are now aware of...
I was anyway, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, you are, yeah. No,
I wasn't, duh.
And I'm
Junia,
moving towards
you are now both aware of it, because the crowd is kind of forming. If you would like to approach.
I'm already approaching, and I will continue to do so.
By the way, really quickly,
Yes.
just want to mention that Junia, when you were talking with Flay, as you guys were kind of meandering around the camp, just waiting for things to happen, you learned that he is also an archer. His specialty.
Flay is?
You guys were talking, and he learned that you were an archer and was like, "Oh, I'm also an archer. That's like my specialty, like my profession."
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Just wanted to mention that. Right there. Write that down in your notes.
Yeah.
Continue.
Write that down. Anyway, we're approaching.
Yeah, so the two of you are approaching. Do you want to join Graham and Tariq in the center of this little like crowd that's forming?
So how large? Okay.
Let
me get a better...
at least a dozen people are within a 15-foot radius.
Can I do like a body language thing to just see who's being the most hostile?
Like Man Joe.
Like if
it's Old Man Joe.
Old Man Joe. So I should probably approach Old Man Joe then.
He's on the ground in the center of the circle.
Okay, so then why are people surrounding?
Because there's lots of yelling. Because there's lots of yelling going on. Right? Graham is yelling. The guy is yelling. Old Man Joe is yelling. Tariq is also kind of yelling now. There's like 4 people like yelling. It's a bit of an argument, a scuffle going on, like potential scuffle. People are it's like if in the middle of the lunchroom, like 4 people started yelling at each other, everyone would turn and be like, "What is going on?"
I'm gonna go to if I'm allowed to, I'm gonna go to the edge of this crowd and I'm just gonna scream. I'm gonna at the top of my lungs go, "Hey!" I'm not gonna do it right now because I don't want to disturb the people in the dorm.
Okay. You want to scream "Hey" as hard as you can. And Junior, are you also?
Yeah, I was gonna say I wanted to start heading towards just to see what the fuck was going on with Flay. Obviously, just bring Flay along.
Yeah. The both of you are approaching.
Most fatherly, disappointed, angry "hey" I can muster from my.
All right, produces this loud "hey." Everyone's heads whip over. And everyone here is now looking at Roke as you've just approached.
Was that right after Tariq said the thing about having other prophecy friends in the crowd?
Yes, but I'm not sure if Roke and Junia have heard that.
Got it, but we
haven't.
Right?
I'm gonna say Junia definitely didn't because she was aware of this later. Roke, it's up to you if you wanted to have heard that.
I didn't have a plan. I actually don't have a plan at all.
I can take the attention back.
All right, everybody. Yeah. So Tariq, you just went I have a friend from the south and the west here, and this is my friend from the east, or this is my friend from the north, and my friend from the east is off dealing with other people. And you guys are standing staring at each other for 2 seconds, and you hear "hey," and you all whip over, and everyone's looking at Roke now, and just an awkward silence.
What the fuck are you doing?
Is this towards Tariq and Graham?
No, this is towards the group. Everyone. That's
I regret to inform you that we are currently surrounded by a populace that is certain that I'm gonna stick my finger up to Tariq. I'm gonna stick my finger up to Tariq and just shush him. Just be like, no, just no. I'm just gonna address the crowd and just be like, do you not see what's happening around you? If you are worried about this guy, that this boy is the one who set your camp on fire, where the fuck do you think he's gonna be going? Do you think he's gonna run away? I sprint
You're already
away
all surrounding
right now.
him. This poor old man on the ground is covered in burns. I can see around you that there are multiple other people who are burnt. Why don't you go help some of the people who are burnt instead of yelling at each other? I will make sure he doesn't leave if that makes you guys happy.
Roll public speaking +2.
Graham just lowers his head and disappoints himself. It's just so sad.
Speaking +2. Oh, that's close. No, it's
it'll be a
success by 3.
Oh, thank God for getting me on that.
And then once I finish speaking,
we got the worst downgrade. I just realized it's so bad.
And then once I've kind of finished whatever you just narrate after this, I'm just gonna help the old man up off the ground and kind of just guide him away.
Yeah. Okay. So people are kind of looking at each other after you've said that, and there's some murmurings, and people are nodding and generally just sort of walking away. And sorry, total brain fart. They're starting to walk away. The man with the weapon that was really taking charge here. He looks at you, Graham, and he offers out his open hand to meet yours, and you shake hands. He's like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me." And he looks at you, Tariq, and he does a little bit of a bow. And actually, he also offers his hand out to you to meet your hand.
I'll shake it, and I'll just go, if you do see the other Westerling who was staying at camp, please don't hurt him. There's nothing, there's no proof aside from color of flame. Anyone could have taken something from him and set the fire.
Don't do it, Asher.
He looks at you and says, I don't intend on finding him. But I'm sorry I caused such a ruckus. Of course it wasn't you. I heard of the Westerling that was staying here, and he didn't speak our language, so it clearly could not have been you. Do you know why he would have done this, if he did?
Why would I know? Why do you think I want to find him?
Fair enough. He nods at you, and he slowly turns away and walks. And he turns back. He says, "Goodbye, Tariq."
Bye.
And turns and walks away. And so Roke,
back to shouting.
Roke, you approach Old Man Joe and like offer your hand out to help him up, and he takes it and you just like slowly help him up, and he like has to lean on you like for support to like continue standing. And he speaks like softly into your like ear as he like leans in, or like he like leans over, like speaking in your ear, and says like this was like find them, Roke, and then like dies.
What? No, that's terrifying.
No. He speaks at a normal talking volume in your ear. It actually kind of hurts with how close he is. Like his jaw's like right over your shoulder. Turn Asher's fucking camera off. And
he says,
like, they told me it was a Westerling that did this. How is it not him? Like, meaning Tariq.
I understand. I haven't seen very many Westerlings myself, but if it is him, then we'll figure it out. But I think we just need to relax and, figure it out. Yeah, I don't know.
Junior and Flair.
I had all of my charisma and all of my public speaking disappeared in a second.
Damn.
It's not him.
Roll fast talk.
Roll fast talk?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if I get something under 10.
Hey, can you film a quick video for me?
It's by 5.
He looks at you and just says, okay. And he's like breathing like hot air like straight onto your face now. And like you have to like turn away. His breath just like ranks. You see that he has like maybe 6 teeth total left in his mouth, and he has like some wooden dentures to replace like a lot of the missing ones. And he says to you now like a rasping like almost whisper. He says like, "Help me back to my tent, please."
Of course. Do you need me to grab you any water, any food, or anything?
That would be lovely.
I'll ask him to point me in the direction of the tent and start bringing towards it.
He points in some direction and starts leading you. And as you walk away, he turns and gives like a bit of a glare at Tariq, then like gives it up and relaxes his face again and turns back and
I definitely deserve that glare more.
I'll take 30 of you. I'll beat the shit out of you, old man.
I've actually, as I'm like helping him away, I'm gonna turn back to Graham and just like kind of give him not like an angry glare, but just kind of like a glare, and just kind of like nod my head to like in some direction. I don't know, gesturing that he should do something.
Yes, Graham does. Graham immediately leaves to go to have therapy at the blacksmith's house.
As Roke leaves.
Right, if he's ever coming back, I need to like go watch the video.
Yeah. Shit, maybe I shouldn't go back there then, but that's what I said.
As Roke leaves, Junior and Flay just come up to Tariq and Graham and just go, "What troubles have you caused here now this time?"
I didn't do anything. People think I did, but I didn't.
I look at Graham, waiting for an answer from him as well.
Graham is still stuck there, like still in that same stance, like broad-shouldered, like the intimidating stance, but the look on his face has completely changed. He's like gone pale. His hand is like over his knife still, and he's shaking.
Is he all right?
He's
asking in character.
No. I asked Tariq that.
I turn to Graham and notice this and go, "Graham, what's wrong?"
There's too many people. I need to go. And Graham leaves. Graham leaves the encampment.
If you do want to go to the blacksmith, by the way, you can. I might just need to make a little retcons to his character because I don't remember very well.
It's fine.
It has been 2 months.
It's fine. It's pretty simple.
It's actually been like 3 months since he was there.
Turn to Junia. Turn to Junia. I didn't realize Graham also got panics.
First time for me as well, I suppose. I don't remember that.
Me neither. Okay, I need to keep investigating camp. Go outside the boundary, do something. I need to find this person before the mob does.
You need some help? Flynn and I aren't doing
would
much
love help.
other than just sitting around. You
I
alright
would
with that,
love
Flynn?
help. I want to make sure that this person is okay before people like that old man start accusing him of things.
If he's guilty, at least we can prevent any more damages. Alright. Flynn, you up to it? No, you did.
Wait, you say something to Flay?
Yes, yeah, I did. I was
What did
asking
you ask
if they're. It's simple. I was asking if he's up to joining me and Tariq in a small little search around the camp.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, of course.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tariq's just continuing the search,
More
probably
hands-on is
sticking
great.
to like the perimeters of camp where someone would want to hide if they were still on site.
So the three of you are searching. Roke, what do you want to do in your time here at the camp?
I muted my mic and then unmuted this one. Did I return from helping that guy?
Oh, right. Yeah. You
Alright.
lead him to his tent, lay him down to rest, and you're considering getting him water and food, but as soon as you lay him down, within 20 seconds, he seems to fall asleep. You check that he still is breathing and seems to have a heartbeat, and he seems to be alive, and you leave him to his rest.
God, what do I do? Kill him?
Rob him of everything he owns, which is the clothes on his back.
Am I in a different part of camp than I was able to see before? I was in a big clearing in sight of Graham and Tariq. Am I in a different area where I could see more now?
Why?
I just want to look. I just want to step out of the tent and just look around. But I'm wondering if I'm looking at the same thing I was before or a different area.
I mean, it's all just the general camp.
Okay, I'm just gonna
It's sprawled
step
for
out of
less
the-
than a mile.
First, I'm just gonna
Just
step
around
out of the
the
tent that I was in and just kind of, glance around briefly. That's all. See if I notice anything that piques my interest.
Yeah, there's
There's nothing.
just people in pain, people recovering, people eating, sharing meals, comforting one another, crying over the remains of their burnt and broken tents, and there's just, I mean, you take in this wide view and you just see a collection of people that have already begun the process of healing from this trauma that they've all just endured and are getting ready to endure the process of rebuilding what they had built after it was so quickly snuffed away from them.
I guess for now, I'll kind of go to the closest person who's just kind of broken down, crying, and just kind of try to help them up, see if they want any help.
Yeah.
Just
Just
my
kind of
way
generally
through.
helping out around the camp.
Yeah.
Graham Norser, you wanted to go to the blacksmith that you had previously worked with.
Which might take a little while. I am walking across town.
Yes, but there's nothing else that I want
That's
to do
happening.
right now. So it takes that argument little moment would took about 20 to 30. It's currently 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
It took about 30 minutes ish, 30 to 40 minutes to walk from the tent to find the blacksmith again. You were a little fuzzy on where it was and took a wrong turn down some streets and whatnot. You were luckily not mugged. On your way there, you hear a bowl jangle with a little some coins in it, and you just instinctively look down and you see this old woman. Yeah, it's this frail old woman with long yellow fingernails and long thin gray hair. Look up to you, and sitting next to her in the alley or in the street is this young daughter sleeping on her against her arm, or this young girl next to her arm, presumably her daughter, and she looks up to you as you walk past her and calls out any spare coin, and as you look at her you see that her eyes are pale and gray, and it seems like she's actually looking a little bit to the left of you and actually isn't looking at you.
Okay. Graham thinks about what he literally just did and how he treated that poor old dude. Granted racist, but still, No, literally almost killed him. Yep. Graham still almost shaking, not the same face though. Right now it has been replaced by the time that he was leaving with frustrated and angry face. But he's still shaking. He checks his bag, sees one coin.
Do you really only have one coin?
It's one gold coin.
Oh shit!
Remembers where he got that gold coin from that greasy, dirty merchant, and thinks,
Man,
and thinks, nah, no, and puts it in her hand and says, "I'm sorry," and then walks away.
Actually, you say that and you begin to walk away, and she looks up and calls like, "Sorry for what, dearie? Have you taken out of my cup?"
No. Suppose it wasn't you, but you need to try to at least even out what you do to the world. And I've got some work to do. And then I had continued. Unless she stops me again, I'm leaving. I'm very uncomfortable with the conversation.
As you walk away, you just hear her say, "Good luck, dearie."
Probably just skipped like a Fey god character.
So I reward you with eternal youth.
Yeah, no, don't give a shit. Just walk away. Give her the gold anyway, but just walk away. I get to, or do I get to the
old blacksmith?
Happen? Yeah, does anything else happen?
No.
All right, so it was like Jeripimo or something.
They all start with J. That's all I know.
No, there was 2 people named the same name. Was the problem?
Oh, I remember now. Yeah, his name is Gerald.
Gerald.
And then
Gerald.
There's another guy named Gerald.
But there's anyway. Not confusing.
Kill myself.
Anyway,
Gerald and Gerald.
I remember the last time I was there. I remember, while we were, working the metal, we did get to talking a little bit, and I am in a very sour spot. I get in there, and I am just like, can I work on anything just to help?
He turns back to you. You see that he was sitting, and he had he has this like small wooden cup with like some like liquid steaming out of it, and you see like a teapot set next to it, and he looks up to you and he takes a sip of his tea out of his little cup, and looks at you and smiles and says, "I was wondering if you would come back."
It's been like I know it's been like 3 months for you, Jack. It's been like 2 days for this old guy. But yeah, okay.
I have no idea what you guys talk.
No, okay. I basically what happened last time.
You came and you worked. I remember he offered you money and you rejected it.
I worked. He basically asked if I wanted to stay, and I kind of confided in him that like Graham had been like extremely stressing out and frustrated with all of his life being dictated by different roles thrust upon him. Not really allowed to choose his own future. Various things, kind of talked about being a bastard, but not really. Mostly was talking about the prophecy and was saying he kind of wished he could leave it. Ended up saying, I don't remember if he said this or not, but was saying that wasn't going to leave them to die, but did not want to do this, and was just confiding, saying that he wished he could say, right, and was confiding that he was like losing his grip on things, saying that he was trying to protect people. Anyway. That's also what he's going to talk about now. So,
and he also gave you access to his forge, right? You said like
yes, access to. Well, I'm going to continue. I just worked 1 day for him. I'm going to work a little more to earn that forge. Or Graham is. Sorry, Graham's going to work a little more to feel like he's earned that forge. But right now he just wants to help out, see if there's anything he can work on.
Yeah. So you walk up. He looks up at you and says, "Oh yeah," so he said,
and he can tell I
was wondering if he would come.
He could probably tell that I am very much visibly distraught. Not, he knows I'm in there because I want to hit things.
Okay, so so he looked at me and said, "I was wondering if you would come back." And then he's a few moments go between the two of you as you're standing. You're very tense. You seem to be breathing heavy for no reason besides the fact that you just went on a long walk. And he looks at me and says, "Pull that chair up." And he points out and points to like some chair elsewhere in the forge. You see like he's sitting next to like a barrel, and that's where he has like his teapot. And you see there's like this wooden plaque with 2 wooden like teacups with like carvings on them. Yeah.
And it's like hot in here from the forge, right?
Actually no, it seems like he hasn't turned it on yet. He hasn't done anything yet.
Got it. Graham pulls up a chair and reluctantly kind of hesitates for a moment. Isn't thrilled about talking about his feelings. Much would have rather been, a few words between swings. But Graham does reluctantly pull up his chair and sits across from Gerald, old man Gerald. And he sits down.
And you see he grabs the teapot and he just, without saying anything, pours some tea into the second cup and picks it up and offers it to you.
Graham takes it and takes a sip, piping hot, just right away.
It burns your tongue a little bit.
Oh, it burns my tongue a lot.
It burns your tongue a lot. And he kind of chuckles a little bit. And he says, "Have you ever had tea before?"
Had tea before? Probably, right?
You're still the third wealthiest man on the planet.
I was gonna say, I would assume I've had tea before. I didn't.
It's up to you. You can
Yeah,
go either
no.
way.
I think Graham grew up with it. Yeah. I used to drink it when I was younger, but I can't say I have in a good couple years.
It's been many years since I've shared tea with a stranger, or with anyone for that matter. And he takes another sip. I wish I still had tea.
I pretend to take another sip after being burnt. I don't know. Graham starts sweating, says it's so hot.
Yeah.
And he blames it on that. Graham says, just turn off the furnace. Not sweating. What we see is some, drops start coming down the face, and all I want is to protect them. It's the only reason I'm still there. But for that reason, I just can't keep a grip. I almost got 2 of us killed right now. I've been holding up this party. I've felt like I've been protecting them in a handful of ways. At least I feel responsible for it. And we are in the most dangerous city in the country. I can't even take a step away from them without getting myself mugged. I can't even keep myself in check at all. I've been sort of grabs the side of his head while he's doing this too. I've just lost myself. I feel like something's shaking up my whole world, and I've just been tending to hold it together for months. They keep talking to me about things that I've done or that I'm doing, and I'm not even realizing. I'm putting us in danger outright. But I know that even with me, even like this, we can't go into the Western Woods. We're not in the shape. It's not just me, but we need to pull ourselves together before this. Can't even handle ourselves in Penrite, and we're about to jump into the Western Woods, and then worse. Probably shouldn't have mentioned that, but I didn't think about it.
The man sets down his cup, and he says, he looks at you and says, "What do you think needs to change, lad? All you can control is yourself. So what can you change within yourself?"
That's the problem. I haven't been able to change, no matter how deeply I wanted it. I haven't been able to change. I haven't been allowed to. My whole life, I have, on the one hand, expectations as a noble child, and on the other hand, as a bastard, I am unable to fulfill most of those duties. I'm stuck there as a spectacle, unable to truly go off. Even when I did, it was at the behest of my father, choosing where I went and who I worked under. And now, even more, with the prophecy. I don't remember if I mentioned the prophecy to him, but sorry. I'm pretty sure I did not.
I don't think you mentioned being a noble child either.
No. He's like getting a bunch of stuff out of context right now, and that's Graham.
He's keeping a straight face. He seems compassionate.
Yeah. But obviously Graham is just like
Opposed.
losing everything and it's falling out right now. Is not making comprehensive sense. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want this, but I didn't realize how much I didn't want this. That being said, I don't want to leave them. I can't leave them. They will die. We might die anyway. I can't send them into the dragon's mouth without a shield at all. Sweating more. It's really hot.
Oh man, there's a lot of beat of sweat on the old man.
That furnace, we should really turn that off. Can't choose what I do. Just need to focus on why I really want to do it and why I'm staying.
Why is that?
It's for them. I said that. At first it was out of duty, and that's what it was, and that's what it's been up to this point, still. But the last time I was here with you, I've realized that I did not care anymore about the prophecy. I did not care to finish it. If the world needs me, they need to find someone else. I can't do it. But I haven't left though, and I'm not going to leave. That's a different reason. Now I'm doing it for them. I need to stop walking the path that was trodden, that was laid for me. It's just this damn prophecy that's getting in my way. I don't know how to deal with that, because if I follow them, I feel like I'm failing myself, and I'm refusing to grow, but I can't stay here. I need to get my shit together. I'm not going to lead this group into danger, and I'm not going to watch them walk into danger either. I don't know what will change. I need to get a grip on myself. I need to communicate and talk to my party members about myself and actions and what we need to change going forward, because there's multiple things that need to change. We need to have a grip on ourselves before going into here, and we need to be armed. I need to build armor.
Armor, you say? Is that what you need?
Well, I need a weapon, of course, but it's less important.
Well, let's get to work then. He smiles and he like quickly finishes the rest of his tea and sets it down, then stands up. And he looks down at you and says, "We'll build the finest set of armor the world has ever seen."
If only we could build it large enough for the world too.
Alright, the two of you are gonna have to roll smithing now.
Let's go. One of the only skills that Let's touch these die.
Alright. I need to make up his. What's your smithing skill?
It's not amazing, but
We're gonna make the world's most mid armor.
we're gonna make the world's most mid armor. What is it called? It's called smithing or blacksmith? What is it?
Smithing.
It's not showing this one. I know I had it.
Oh, maybe it's called armory or something?
Armory, that might have been it. Armory.
The skill for making weapons.
Weapons, let's go! Let's go!
But I think they might.
I think I can do it
each
at a
other.
disadvantage. Yeah, at minus.
And for the robot. It's spelled.
I spent all that time with that blacksmith and I only learned how to make weapons? Let's go! Why is it only... I tried to fix this.
Heavy weapons.
Just do it with a minus disadvantage. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make
I think
up
that's
a
what it
roll.
was. I'm
Just
pretty sure.
roll. You specialize in making weapons, so roll armory -2 to make armor.
Okay. So we're back to a flat roll, I think. Or what's my intelligence? Oh, it's super great for sure. It's not actually bad. We're livable. Okay. 14.
So a failure of 4. I believe he got a success of 6.
That's positive.
So
I feel like armor is a very long. That would be multiple days worth of work. We're not doing like how
Mid-armor.
long. No, we're not making the whole thing right now. This is one check, right? We're not just making shoddy armor. Be like the best armor in the whole world. It's just like I'm just like.
all right. So the two of you begin crafting the armor for
It's
hours.
just points too. If I thought about it, I would have fucking
Hours and hours. Okay. Rogue Tariq Jr. Mainly Tariq and Jr. You're here, right? Alright, beautiful.
I came back
guys
like
have
2
been
minutes
searching.
ago.
You guys have been searching for 2 hours. It's now almost noon.
0 traces.
Actually, you guys were searching until noon. You realized that you got a very light breakfast, and you guys got a little bit hungry. You realized that you were searching for. You guys were searching for like 3 hours, looking and could not find anything. And eventually, Flay said, "Listen, I'm getting hungry. We've been searching for 3 hours. He's not in this camp. We've been looking around the camp. This started last night. If something happened to him, or if he really did do this, he is long gone. If he left, it's been far too long for him to be anywhere near here, unless he's somewhere in the city. Let's go to an inn. I'll pay. Let's have lunch. Let's relax, and we can continue our search after."
Fair enough.
I
say we-
hate
Who's
that
paying?
you are correct.
Yeah.
Roke, are you here? Roke, do you want to? You've seen them searching around the camp. Do you want to join them?
No, actually, I don't.
Okay.
Well, perfect then.
So the three of you head out to a nearby like tavern or some sort of. Actually, he leads you to the market, and leads you to the market, and there's all sorts of like food stands that are selling food, and he's telling you like, here I'll lead you to my favorite place. They carve meat off of the chicken, grill it, and then stick it on a stick and give it to you. It's quick, it's cheap, it's delicious, and leads you over to the market. He pays the necessary bronze pieces, or actually, I have 3 little pieces of chicken. He pays like a bronze and some copper, gets 3 pieces of a chicken on this stick, and it's grilled over a little fire, and handed to the 3 of you, and then you're all walking the marketplace, enjoying this delicious meal. And Flay turns to you, Junior, and says, "Oh, hi, Graham."
I didn't mean to.
Oh
Sorry.
my god, Graham exists. Oh, there he goes.
Flay turns to Eugenie and says, so, how long have you been practicing archery? When did you pick it up? How did you get into it?
At least the good. Junior's like pulling out her hands and just trying to count on it, and she's like, probably about 14 years
Okay.
or so.
So, how old would that make you when you first picked it up?
12 or 14. I honestly, those younger times kind of mixed together.
Around the age when I first started too. And how did you get into the art?
Well, quite simply, it was to be fair, the preface here. I'm from Haven, up north. As you know, the situation out there isn't exactly the best.
I've never heard of it.
You haven't?
No.
People, interesting. Well, it's a city. Well, I guess you could call it a city. I wouldn't say it's as grand as Penrite here. It's out west. It's out west in the Western Woods, and right smack middle of it. I don't know who thought of doing that. Well, town-ish. It's a meadow. It's within a meadow, within the woods, technically. But over there, agriculture isn't really as prevalent as outside, and is bandit stricken ever since I've actually been born. I've never actually known of a haven without bandits. So hunting and stuff like that is generally taught to us from a young age, just because exactly that's what I mean. Mm-hmm. But it hasn't existed. Well, everyone has to help provide in some way, and I was the adventurous type, so obviously I was like, might as well take the opportunity and get out of the city every once in a while, which was why I took up archery. It's very good for hunting, and obviously helps not getting hurt when fighting bandits, although I thankfully haven't.
Did you have a mentor or any sort of teacher, any sort of guidance? Or are you self-taught?
Kind of. Well, everyone in Haven kind of is my mentor. At least the oldies there all taught me archeries and gave me their own tips. But I personally grew up with someone. Well, I'm sure he'd get angry if I say this, but I pretty much he was a bit like my father, I suppose. He would despise me. He always wanted to be called master and all that. Although he didn't only teach me archery, that was more secondary to him. He's a big fan of martial arts and very relaxed person all around. I've tried to meditate like he does and focus, but it's a bit hard sometimes.
It really is.
Try my best though.
It really is the key to archery, he says to you.
Is it?
In my youth, I traveled far to the west through the western woods. I went on a grand journey for 2.5 years. I forget the specifics, but it was a long journey. I sailed down to Blyson. I went west. I visited Gale. I went up north and visited Cario, and I went west and I saw the western wall, the mountains, and I heard of a master there, some sort of master teacher, and people told me that he does things that are magical. People told me that magic emanates out of the mountains, and he uses the magic to do things others can't with their bow. So I went out to meet him, and he taught me. He changed my entire perspective on the art. It is an art, and
really,
breath and control of the body really is the key to mastering archery. You can do things most could never imagine if you can master your own body.
Archery and art. Really, I never really thought of it that way. Admittedly, it was always just a tool for survival.
I'll show you sometime. I'll show you what I mean.
You will? You've got me intrigued. I hold up my hand and ready to shake his.
He meets yours and shakes and says, right,
I'd love to hear you talk about it later.
When everything calms down, so long as you're still here, I'll at some point in the future, I'll show you.
You've got a deal.
Give you a bit of a lesson. And if you're heading west, which I believe you are, maybe if he's still alive, it's been many years, maybe he's still out there, the master that I had. maybe he can really teach you. I don't think I could teach half as much as the wisdom that he has.
I'll keep that in mind if we have time. That would be
Anyways,
quite wonderful.
He turns to Rika. Let's get back to it, right? Find your friend.
Aye. Oh,
If we can.
did you two see anything that could say which direction we went off while we were searching?
I didn't see anything
So
aside from getting accused.
We could talk to Carmen. Maybe she knows something.
that would be a smart idea. She's
Maybe.
probably less busy now once since everything's probably settled down a little bit more.
That's true. No, we could do that.
So you all return to the camp. Are looking around. You find Carmen in her pink robes. Approach her, and she turns. She seems more calm now.
By the way, have they put out the ghoul fire yet?
Yes, the fire's out. The fire's out.
Like...
Embers are gone now. The fire's done, but the remains are brutal, and the devastation is brutal. And yeah, Carmen meets up with you guys, and actually, she's the one to speak first. She walks towards you and says, "Tariq, are you familiar with Westerling heraldry or sigils at all?"
Depends. I know. I guess what's the situation?
There's something. We're investigating the disappearance of Drak, and it seems he left something. We don't know how long it's been in the camp, but it seems like some sort of carving or drawing, or not drawing, some sort of carving he left in a post of wood. We were wondering if it meant anything, and we've been looking at it, but we're not Westerlings, so we don't know if there's any sort of significance in this. If it's some sort of message,
like does it look like written script or like a symbol?
It's a symbol.
Okay, let me look at it.
I am not too familiar with your alphabet. By the way, Roke, you are aware. You've been helping out with the camp. You did see that 2 members of your party and Flay entered the camp and approached, and they're speaking with Carmen. If you would like to join.
I have other plans.
What?
Excited to get to my plans. I have other plans.
Okay.
Gotta go.
If you do want to do anything, by the way, you can just DM me or raise your hand or at me in general or something.
I will once they're done with Carmen. I would love to do something.
Okay. And so Carmen leads you into the camp, Tariq, and is leading you. And she leads you up to this wooden fence post. I have a reference image.
Watch me not know what it is.
I'm getting the image ready. You guys better be ready for this. Boom. I mean, you're not here, but...
That is fancy.
And so you look at this symbol.
Yes.
I would love to make you roll for it, but if you failed the roll, there's just nothing we could do with this. So... so you look at it, and you're immediately instilled with fear. This is a symbol that I kind of don't want to say this to everybody. It'd be cool if only Tariq.
I'll be deafened.
Put me in group 1.
Okay, I'll deafen. I'm sorry, that was so stupid.
I've been actually deafened. Wait.
I respect it. I respect it. Here, Roke's not here. I'm gonna deafen Roke. Tariq, you can communicate what I'm going to tell you to the players, of course. But there's a lot more I would say to you and the viewers of our wonderful podcast. Do I not know how to deafen somebody?
You can just move. Okay.
I'm gonna leave Asher on deaf. He took his headphones off just so that
Is Quinn actually doing this?
So this is the symbol of the cadre. So I messaged you about this a while ago. It was just a random Discord DM, but I'll describe them to you from what I remember.
Let me also open up.
They are this mysterious. Yeah, if you want to walk out into the suite and just take a little sit. I can even knock on the door, let you know.
Yep, here it is.
Okay.
I also just pulled it up on my end, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, tell me if I say anything wrong. This is going from memory. But this is one of the stupid things that I remember pretty well. The Kandri are a mysterious group of the Westerlings that seem in some way to be connected to the moon. Hence why this symbol is some sort of almost like the 3 phases of the moon, like 2 half moons surrounding a full moon. And you're not familiar with the scratch on it or what that means or something like the little mark on top of it. But it seems to in some way symbolize the moon, and it is a symbol of the Kadri, the 2 crested moons with the full moon in the middle. They are a mysterious group of Westerlings known to most, if not all, of your people that live in the far, far west, the part of the world that even the Westerlings have not visited and do not have maps of and do not know or understand. Let me just pull up my little writing on them just so I can convey all of the information. Yeah.
Here, wait. I can also. Oh, you have it.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the part of the land called the unmapped lands, meaning obviously that the Westerlings have not mapped them, have not explored them, do not understand them. And so it's called also known as the land of the Cadre. And the common legend is that their land, in the far, far reaches of the world, far west, where the world begins to end, the sand is no longer yellow; it turns black. Ocean vanishes. The heat increases to levels believed to be inhospitable even to your people, except for these mysterious and dangerous Cadre, who are said to be servants or in some way connected to Ruo, your moon god. And
for the people at home, Tariq one time screamed at it because someone died.
and all sorts of rumors and legends circulate amongst the Westerlings. Stuff like the Cadre practice human sacrifice to satiate the hunger of the moon god. And they are known, or at least rumored. You've never seen it, but it is widely believed that they and told everyone that they raid the frontier of Westerling lands, like the western portions that Westerlings still live in and explore, and know, and even occasionally, very rarely, strike deeper and deeper into Westerling territory, and they raid and often kidnapped members of your cabals, and those people are never seen again if they're taken by the Cadre. And, they're said to have been sacrificed or eaten and tortured and turned into, their souls are forever trapped in the moon. All sorts of different stories and theories as to what happens with those people that are stolen by the Cadre. And they're said to be fierce and bloodthirsty and dangerous and evil. And
we're really stereotyping this one guy.
Yeah. And they're lots of Westerlings believe that their souls have in some way been corrupted, and hence why their land has been cursed and is where the world begins to end. Mm-hmm. And nobody knows how many Cadre there are, how they came to be, what their goals are. They're very mysterious, very unknown. They're just believed to be, by your people, dangerous and have some sort of nefarious goals and very nefarious means of achieving them. But their real motivations are not known. But you are taught that this symbol means danger. It means you need to leave where you are because this is the land of the Cadre, or they are nearby, or they have been here, and it is like a taboo. Even to the point that some elders preach that if you approach an oasis, no matter how thirsty you are, if there is a mark of the Cadre on a tree in the oasis, do not drink out of the water, for it has been poisoned. It is better to die in the sand and have your soul collected by Ayu than to drink their poisoned water and corrupt yourself, because you might become one of the Cadre.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So, yeah.
The real question, Jack, for you, is whether or not I need to make a roll right now for disadvantage purposes.
You like to have a panic attack?
I don't know. I don't think this. I'm not just saying usually I would just say I roll for it. This is a scenario where I'm going, do I? How bad is this?
Let me bring Quinn back real quick.
And Ivan, I'll let Ivan know to put headphones back on.
So, it's a good question. I would say, yeah, roll it.
Yeah. Success by 3.
Wah wah.
Wah wah.
Okay. So yeah, you don't panic. But yeah, Junia, you do see that as Tariq approaches this, her eye or his widen.
So are we dealing with Al-Qaeda?
What do you say?
Al-Qaeda. Are we dealing with Al-Qaeda? Is that what's happening?
What?
Sorry, I'm saying out of character.
So is that
Al-Qaeda? What? Alright, what does Tariq actually say to them?
Under his breath, Tariq does a little Westerling basically, oh fuck. And then is gonna go, Carmen, what was this man like?
I mean, he seemed lovely. He was polite. Like I told you, he was teaching me, how to make Westerling cuisine. He was helping me learn your language and your writing. He seemed really cordial and civil and helpful around camp. He helped out with various chores and physical tasks. He was nothing but helpful and friendly. He never did anything wrong. I don't see how he could have done this.
It was a ruse. This symbol is... I've never heard of one of these people coming this far east. This is something else, but this camp has been tainted by the Kadri, servants of Ruo, the moon, a darker force. I don't know where he's gone, but he is dangerous, and this land isn't safe anymore. He's marked it. I've never heard of them coming this far east. Fuck. Where did Jack go? The fuck?
He's still here.
Continue.
Carmen, this camp isn't safe.
What do you mean?
This marking, it's these people. They're not... I hate to just say that people are evil, but this man was. And by writing this here, he has tainted this area. He has claimed it. It's not... I don't know where he is, but he is a danger. This was malicious. And what kind of meals did he teach you?
He was teaching me how to make some stew. I think is what she said 4 months ago.
It's worth noting, one of the main features of these people is human sacrifice, and...
What?
Was cannibalism on there? No. Wait. Yes!
Yeah.
Carmen.
Reaffirmed the racism. This is literally the best plot point.
Carmen, we're talking... I wish I'd known the symbol was here before I got so concerned over this man. We're talking about a cannibalist cultmonger of fairly extreme proportions.
So what I'm hearing is we've got someone to kill.
This camp has now been claimed by Ruo. It is not a safe space for you or your people. This is the moon's land now.
Are you sure?
You can see it, look, and I start tracing the, symbol with my hand. This here is the full moon, and then you have the crescents. I'm not sure what the spike resembles, but these symbols, nothing good ever comes out of these.
Okay. Well, we'll remove it if it makes you feel safer here. Would that work for you?
Would that work, Jack?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, if
Like you decided beforehand. Come on.
You can believe it.
I mean, removing the presence might do it, but this man is still out there. And I'm also concerned about what he taught you to make food-wise, but that's a concern for later, I think.
And you're certain you're saying that he eats people?
Yes. Once again, I've never heard of them coming this far east. I've never heard of them crossing I've never heard of them coming this far east. I've never heard of them crossing the Western Wall, but this is it. What would they be doing this far out? Carmen, I really don't understand either, but this is not a good sign.
Okay, well, if he's still here, we'll find him and we'll ask him to explain, or you'll ask him to explain, and...
To explain, yeah, that sounds good.
I
Yes.
walk up to Tariq for a second and just whisper, "We're killing him, right?"
A little past explain.
At this point, yes, he's a danger. He's not... I need you to... Junia, we are talking about a people
I believe
vile, so vile that their sands turn black. Not because
Sand black.
volcanic sand.
What kind of world did you make here, Jack? It was in Tolkien.
Yeah, Jack, wait a minute. What is this world building?
Wow. Yeah, no, that does sound terrifying. That is an issue. Alrighty, yeah.
Carmen, had anyone gone missing around the time he was here?
Not that I know of. I mean, sure, there are people missing from the camp, but I mean, that happens all the time. Before he was here, and I don't think there was anything unusual. Sometimes people just get up and leave and don't come back. We don't really have a formal head count or anything.
And you said he was polite?
Yes, I loved having him around. He was a very hard worker and was very generous and a good cook.
That can't be true. It doesn't make sense. A ruse. It had to have been a ruse.
I have a question for you. This green fire of yours, is it sacred? Would it be like taboo or illegal or immoral to give that information to anyone else? Is it possible that a non-Westerling did this? Or would only a Westerling have at this. Cash's fucking commentary. It's like, nope, it wasn't with.
It's
fine.
It's not necessarily a secret, our flame, but you would have to cross into the Westerlands to discover how it works, and clearly that's not allowed at this time. And I would say that it could have been stolen. It could have been someone other than him. But this symbol, this is proof that he did this. We're talking about a madman.
Sorry, I was muted. Okay. Then yeah, I guess we'll. I mean, I can't promise that we're going to search for him very hard. We're stretched very thin right now.
Then I'll find him.
Okay. And when you do, bring him to me because I want answers out of him.
You want me to be your translator? I take it.
Yes. I mean, don't you want to know why he would do this too?
I already know why. The symbol says it.
Alrighty, yeah. You think he'll strike again today, or are we safe for a bit?
I don't know. I don't even know how to find him. I am trying to speak to him, but I mean, I could try and pose as another worshiper of the moon, but that I don't know the specifics. I think I want to try and draw him out. I think that me being Westerling and being able to speak to him does help, but I don't know how to find him. Just that we need to.
I trust your judgment on this one.
So, Tariq and Junia, what are you gonna do now?
Well,
I feel like I need to get back to looking, but I just don't know where to start on that as a player.
Tariq, what if we head back to Naren and Pierre? At least inform them of it. Maybe they have guards around that could, tell us if they see anything. It'd be a good start. At two people, we can't look at the whole city.
You're not wrong.
I have no doubt. Flay. Actually, Tariq, do you know how to ride a horse?
I don't know how to ride a horse, but I do know how to ride.
All right. Since you ran away here,
Sure, no. I can ride animals though. I've done back home, but we don't have horses, so I'm not sure how good I'll be able to translate that.
All right. Here's what. Flay, you mind bring Tariq back with you on the horse? Since I can come back. I'll join you guys on foot shortly.
Oh, I forgot I had a horse.
I know how to ride.
Yeah, I know, but two of you on the horse.
Let me use my riding skill that we haven't used once.
Tariq, Flay knows how to fully use a horse. You both can hop on it, and I'll join you guys shortly.
All right.
Junia, this is Flay speaking. How about your friend Rogue? Is he still in the camp? Is he still here?
I don't know, actually. I haven't looked for him.
Maybe you should find him. I don't know how safe it is to be in this camp alone right now. Anything could happen in this city, or wherever he is.
I will say to Junia. I will say to Junia. I would say find Rogue first, but I am.
Go inform Pierre. I
am concerned about Graham. I don't know where he's gone.
Where has everyone gone?
I don't know where he's gone. He didn't look well, and I know that when I get in that state, I don't like to be alone, so I hope that he is... I need to inform Pierre. I need to find this man. There's too much on my plate, but I am concerned.
Yeah, instead of going to see Pierre and Naren, that'll at least allow you to have eyes everywhere.
Okay, I'll start there.
I'll go.
Jack, can I please try and ride the horse with my riding skill?
You want to ask Flay that?
Wait,
if you want to hop on the horse and try to steal it, go ahead.
Flay, my brother in arms. I've never had the chance to partake in handling one of these creatures. May I perhaps try? I do that, but no.
You actually asking that formally?
Sure, yeah, I'll ask. I'll go. Flay, I'm actually quite curious about this creature. I've never had a chance to handle one before. Can I give it a try?
If it were any moment that were any less dire, I would love to. But right now, if you were to crash the horse and break my leg, it would be very bad.
Also consider a horse is faster with less people on it.
I would love to. I could go alone.
Jerry, stop being stubborn.
He jokes with you. He's smiling. He's joking. He's saying sarcastic. Just by yourself. I'm gonna ride with you, but sometime in the future, once all of this calms down, I'll teach Junia what I know of archery, and I'll teach you what I know of horse riding, and we'll have a great time.
Such an awesome man.
Fair enough.
He's dying
I think
next episode.
It's like Asher's friend from the boat. I think that
on the horse ride and on the ride to Naren's, an arrow
Yeah,
Like,
I think
dead.
that Tariq's about to find out that horses are significantly faster than camels. Whoa!
Anyways, so the two of you get on the horse and begin trotting at a brisk pace out of the camp. And as you're leaving, you hear the blare of trumpets ringing throughout the camp. And you see coming out of the city towards. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you scoffing? Coming out of the city, you see dressed in full regal attire, full noble attire, long like flowing cape, big like stuffy, like fancy embroidered ornate dressing, riding on this like on this horse, looking tall and proud, keeping a nice straight tall posture is Naren the Baron or Naren the
Great.
Duke, depending on the marching army. Yeah. Approaching the camp, and next to him, on a horse next to him, Pierre, you don't know how to ride a horse, right?
I want to ride with Jarlin. It's my personal
Yeah, so
request.
next to him is there's two horses on either side of him. To his right is Jarlin with Pierre on the same horse with him, and to his left is the giant guard that is always with him, that has like his helmet down, you can't even see his face. And the three of them are at the front of this convoy as they begin marching, or continue marching towards the camp. And the trumpets blare out again. Excuse me, that's the sound of the trumpets as they make their way into the tent. And you see this long convoy of wagons and people carrying baskets and buckets of water and all sorts of different materials and like building materials and like wood and stone, and like tools, and like some people like carry like pulling carts and horse-drawn wagons and everything, with all sorts of different people and also lots of armed guards and soldiers marching in this convoy. There's got to be at least 100 people marching as Naren slowly rides forth, and you just Flay stops on the horse and is just looking in amazement. And he turns back to you, Tariq, and he says, "Our Duke's done it again." And he turns back as Naren begins riding in, and you see Carmen, hearing blare of the trumpets, like has rushed towards like the exit of what is left of the palisade, and is staring in just like bewilderment at the sight of Naren entering her camp. And you see like she like wipes off her face and like and brushes herself like any like bit of like dirt or grime off of her clothes, and like fixes her hair a bit and begins walking forward to meet with Naren. And Flay begins to trot like the horse very lightly, just slowly walking, pacing or matching Carmen's pace, walking next to her, or just a bit behind her, as you go to meet the front of the caravan. And Roke and Junia, you're both in the camp. I may have skipped over what you wanted to do, Roke.
Yeah.
Was it fuck?
It's like I wanted to do something that was like going to be like, oh, they're leaving the tent. I'm gonna go back to like when they're in the tent.
What?
So they were
Huh?
they were talking to Carmen, right?
Yeah, in the palisade. They didn't like go to a tent or anything.
Oh, okay. I thought they went. So I was by them. I saw them. So I was gonna do something while they were talking to Carmen, but then it kind of got carried away. Can I still do it?
Can we
What did you want to do?
retcon?
Yeah. What did you want to do?
This thing is I was gonna see where it led me. So
That's always the plan.
always the plan.
Me too. I'm not judging.
I never have a
how it
plan,
is.
and that's always the plan.
The
So
game.
sorry, Asher. Can you mute? Because I keep hearing myself and it's a little distracting. Thank you.
Womp, womp.
Womp.
I'll also mute. I'll also mute. Sorry.
No, you're good. I kept hearing myself, and it was hard to keep steady
By the way,
track.
is it possible for you to do what you wanted to do as they're like approaching?
I mean, yeah, but I thought it'd be kind of
Okay.
neat if they weren't distracted by it. But that's okay. I'll do it anyway. I've been kind of helping around, right? I've been,
Very
helping
much
around,
so.
helping people, and I'm starting to feel. I'm really in character, so I'm addressing as first person now. I'm starting to feel a little stressed. Wink, wink. A little stressed. And all this like stuff going on where the camp was on fire, and I had the weird dream about the camp being on fire, and all the other contents of that strange dream. It's got me on edge. wink, wink again. The fact that you aren't sitting up as I say wink, wink is very concerning to me.
Does everyone have panic attacks?
No, I don't have panic attacks.
Joking.
No one in this party is stable.
No.
One guy could come, except for Pierre. One guy could come by and be like, "You guys all stink," and like 3 of you would start breaking down and crying.
Pierre is not stable. That man gets flashbacks.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Is Junior the most stable member of the party?
I'm just.
Are you kidding me?
I'm just an alcoholic, you know.
It's
It's
either me
fine.
or
I don't know how.
Okay, let's get back to what Rogue was doing.
So I'm gonna, as I'm helping people, I'm gonna like kind of just like sit up from helping people, kind of just like take a break. And once again, I'm going to look around. Again, I'm feeling kind of stressed. Wink, wink.
You don't see anything.
I try to. I just something doesn't feel right to me. So I'm gonna kind of like Is there like there's a woods next to this, right? What can I just you're muted.
Yeah,
I just want
the city is the Eastern Woods.
Is it like close? Like is it within like 30 seconds walking?
30 seconds? Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's the short.
So I'm just gonna kind of just take a little break, and I'm just gonna walk to the edge of the woods, and I'm just gonna just calmly like look into it. That's it.
Oh wait, there would be a lot of farmland between.
Okay,
Like
you guys are on the outskirts of the city.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like,
we're on the east. Right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find something interesting, I guess.
You say we're
the giant convoy led by the two future trumpets is pretty interesting.
Alright, I'm just gonna start
Looking
walking
into the
towards
woods, you there's nothing of like particular interest in the Eastern Woods.
And then since the convoy is coming in, horns blazing, I'm just gonna start slowly making my way towards it. Then that ruined both my plans.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Right.
Might
so
have made a
Carmen
new one,
is riding up to or walking up to meet with Naren the Baron. Pierre at his side. Roke is approaching. Junia and Tariq are here. Graham is off working on a piece of armor. And yeah, so Carmen and Naren meet, and Naren looks down at her on his horse, and he smiles, and he says, "I heard that you're in need of some aid." And she looks up and smiles at him, and you see that he slowly and carefully and very gracefully dismounts his horse and jumps down. As he jumps down, like his cape and robes and everything sort of fly up in the air a little bit as he lands, and they plop down at his side. And he walks up and he holds out his hand to Carmen, and she meets it, and they shake hands, and he like slowly approaches, sort of pulls her in, and they meet, and they like awkwardly embrace, as she seems to like being confused as to what's happening, and it seems like he kind of like tricks her into it, and they embrace, and you see, with the loud trumpets, I need to turn the cameras off. So a large crowd has formed that is watching what is happening. People from the tents, but also people from the city that saw this giant convoy being led by their duke, or baron, depending on your persuasion. There's like large convoy, like 100 people marching through the city, has attracted a lot of followers. Like, what is going on? I'm gonna see what's going on this fucking evening. And so a huge crowd has formed, of hundreds of people from the camp marching out and from the city, and you see this this herald like calls out in this booming voice, calling out like, "Naren of House Heir to Duke of East Penrite and the Greenwood has arrived to deliver aid to Carmen and her camp and provide as much as he can from his stores. We have brought food and water, materials, tools, and labor to rebuild this camp better than it was." Yeah, what is Pierre looking like right now on his horse behind Jarlin?
Pierre is very suspicious of Naren's motives. Like visually, just like staring at Naren, trying to figure out what his play is.
And yeah, people from the convoy begin like marching past Naren and Carmen, and you see Naren leans in and whispers something to Carmen. that nobody else seems to be, from all the commotion of the walking and speaking and murmuring. No one seems to hear. He leans into her ear and whispers something, and he looks at her, and she looks at him and gives him like a curt nod, like a very serious face. And she turns around and begins to leave, and you see his knight that is always with him dismounts and begins to walk behind them. And she turns around and notices this and looks and seems to like say something to him. And he says something back, and then she like narrows her eyes a little bit, and then turns around, and they begin to continue walking towards the remnants of the palisade. Asher, did you raise your hand?
Is she nervous? Like, does she look nervous?
Do you have a body language skill? Or like psychology?
I have psychology.
I have body language.
Roll psychology -4, Asher.
Got it. Rolling for an 8. Failure by 5.
Do I notice this?
I mean,
Rough.
it seems like she at the very least is trying to put on some sort of poker face. She's trying to hide her emotions, and it's not easy to figure out what she's feeling right now. But it seems clear that she's in some way it's unsettled, whether it's she's anxious or angry, or really it's just unsettled, creeped out. Something seems to be who've thrown her off her game a little bit. Also, don't forget, she does look very tired. She has been up since the middle of last night, battling a fire and helping her people survive in a camp. She's not slept in, she probably got like a couple hours of sleep last night, and has also been running this camp as its leader and as a leader of like a large political movement within the city for months. And so she looks very tired. So that may also be part of why she seems like put off. Maybe she's like, God damn it, I got 2 hours of sleep last night. Why is this the moment I have to meet Naren? Yeah, Roke.
Unless you have other things to describe, I kind of just want to go up to Pierre and.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, and then I'll just kind of go up to Pierre and stand by the horse.
Don't forget, Jarlin is sitting on the horse in front of him, by the way. Like in front of him on the same horse.
Yeah, if they're not moving, I want to just kind of go up and talk to them and say, we should group up. We should find the others and figure out what's going on, what we're gonna do.
Where is
Lay and Tariq trot up towards you as well, by the way.
So
we just need to find the other two.
So it's just we're missing Tariq and Graham, is it?
No, you have Tariq.
Junior and Graham.
Junior was with Flay and
Yeah, pretty much. I was right next to him.
Okay,
so it's just Graham.
So it's just Graham. Okay. So I see everyone else but Graham by now.
Honestly, we don't know where he's gone. He up and left a few hours ago.
Why did Graham leave?
He looked unwell.
The week said he had a panic attack or something.
He looks like, when I unfortunately get my panics, as odd as it is, Graham looked like that.
You've all seen Graham lose control before, not necessarily in the start of a situation, but you've seen during combat. I don't know how it was roleplayed. It was not when I was here. But Graham's always had the berserk trait, which causes him to lose control. I'm not sure how that was roleplayed before, but I know that you mentioned that had been triggered.
When he took like I think the only time it's ever really come up, he took a major blow, and because that's how the disadvantage works, and he got that was actually the time he was bashed in the head, and it nearly.
Remember when we had to knock him out?
Yeah.
And so
it's 2 times.
He got. Oh, was it
with his brother? And then
the time his brother died.
Yeah, his brother died, and then on that camp.
There was a time he was almost knocked unconscious with a major blow. He got up, was super angry, and started berserking on everyone. And then there was the time that you watched your half brother die in front of you.
Yeah,
and he told you that you should inherit the North.
I don't know how.
That moment when
I don't know how it was.
Very aggressive. That's how.
I fucking love Berserk, dude. It's so
it was
good.
sheer rage.
Yeah.
I don't know how that was roleplayed. I think it's only natural that after those moments, in retrospect and in embarrassment, that Graham would have reacted somewhat like that, somewhat freaked out and stressed. Again, I don't know how it was roleplayed. I should have watched that episode, but I wasn't expecting that.
I can link it if you want.
Yeah, I would appreciate it.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
So you don't know where Graham is, any of you?
I don't know where he would have gone.
Okay.
I broke up a fight between him and some of the residents
I
here.
was being accused of setting off the fire, which, by the way, we do need to talk about that. I think we may be dealing with a madman.
Okay, let's take this one step at a time. Do any of you have any inkling of Graham, where he went, or and why he was in a fight in the first place exactly?
He was in a fight trying to protect me because it was assumed I started the fire.
And he fought someone, like, physically?
He didn't physically fight someone, just he got into a heated argument, and then by the end of it, he looked pale, and he left. I'm not sure where he's gone.
Okay.
I should have followed him. I shouldn't have just let him walk away. He didn't let me walk away when I was upset, so it feels wrong, but...
I think it is absolutely critical, before Jarlin needs to speak to us again, that we are all together as a group, every single one of us. Not half, not, 4. We need everyone. And I am trying to state this importance as plainly as it is. We need to get together. We need to talk about our next moves. We need to be there for Jarlin. Or not for Jarlin, for Naren. So maybe we should find him. No one knows where he went or which direction he went?
Is there anyone in town that he would... Is there a place he would want to go to be alone? Is there anyone he knows in town?
Graham doesn't talk to me.
Graham talks to me, but I don't think... I can't recall ever speaking on...
Would he go to a bar? Would he go back to Naren's castle?
I don't see him going.
That rules out the bars.
I don't think he went to Naren's castle. It didn't seem like he was very trustful of...
You guys just came them.
What's something that's helped Graham in the past? What's something that's helped him calm down? What's something soothing that Graham does as a hobby? I can't think of
His
one.
family, but, there's not for no one here, as far as I know, unless he had, like, a secret sister that lives here.
Pierre, do you wish to speak?
Guys, I think I should make either an IQ check or something of the matter to piece together that maybe the guy who was known to blacksmith shit might have gone to blacksmith
an entire apprentice. You guys,
No, he
had an entire apprenticeship with a renowned blacksmith.
He's almost
Graham
never
did use it
blacksmithing.
once.
He used it once.
Yeah, in all fairness, it's not a very, like,
He set the
apparent...
forge on fire.
Yeah, he set the forge on fire.
I mean, wait,
Isn't
Jack.
that what you're supposed to do? Like, to be fair?
Jack,
No, he
would
burned it
be-
down.
Yeah.
Would it be a stretch, Jack, to put together the pieces of, like, Graham, when there was a coup on, like, people he knew, he went to the forge? Like, is that a stretch to put together?
Okay, so, I mean, it's reasonable to assume that
Did they-
Graham has mentioned his apprenticeship and that he blacksmiths a
Yeah.
lot.
I
And
ask a
possibly even mentioned that he went to
I-
that old blacksmith.
I think I mentioned it. I don't.
No. I mean, what I'm saying, Jack, is during the coup arc, he went to a blacksmith, like, with his family, like his cousin there or whatever. Like, that was something that he did back when we had Ford Graham to, like, help himself. Could we piece together that's something he's done to calm down in the past? Because he did it during that arc.
Let's
he
pretend
did.
that Graham rolled
That's when he
really
burned
well.
down the
Let's
forge.
pretend.
He burned down the forge because they wanted to make some armor for him, and he's like, "Yeah, I wanted to." So, anyway, I have a question.
I don't think it was calm down. though.
Please.
Yeah.
Did he go there by himself, or did he have an escort? Okay, I was gonna ask if maybe Jarlan went there with him, and
No, John's here.
John's with me.
No, just previously when he went before.
Yup, and left.
Oh, before. Yeah, no, he went alone.
Okay.
Pierre, I say roll IQ -2 to piece together. Like, he's mentioned blacksmithing. He's mentioned it.
The
He
minus...
seems to have done it. He seems to have done it. In
failure
the
by
past to
2.
himself.
We should all
Yeah,
make
you-
the roll.
I don't want y'all
Please.
showing up to my therapy
Please.
session. Just
How about we all make the roll, Jack? Hear me out.
You guys know that he went into the city, and that's as much as you can piece together.
Okay.
I guess we should look for him.
There's no fucking way we could humanly, like, track
No.
him down.
We can't go through all of Penrite. And if he's
Besides, it's dangerous. We don't want to end up with...
Jarlin turns to you. By the way, Pierre's been on the horse the whole time in this whole conversation.
Mhm.
And Flay and Tariq have also.
I'm chill with those two. They're cool.
Flay,
vibe.
Jarlin turns. Actually, yeah, Jarlin turns. Like, is turning his head to all of you and says, like, actually, he turns his head mainly to Pierre,
me.
like, back on the horse, and he says, "We could send some men out to help look for him."
That would be best. I don't want us to go looking for him if we have no clue where he is. It's dangerous, and plus...
I could spare half a dozen men to search the city.
Jarlin, that would be... I'm very appreciative of you. That would mean the world to me.
And you,
Right. Flay looks up. He's like, "Yeah, find 6 men and take them out to find Graham." and give them instructions, and he'll head it up. You'll be the 7th man. Play goes, all right. He turns back to Tariq. Guess it's time to get off the horse, buddy.
Okay. Hops off the horse.
He looks down. He puts his hand. He like turns the horse around. He looks down. He puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "I promise you, I'll teach you how to ride it."
Flay's gonna die. Flay and his horse are gonna die.
You know, Flay, I'm a farmer. It reminds me of home. Tariq being around livestock animals, being like, yes.
Yeah, he puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "I promise, I'll teach you how to ride a horse later." Though I will be honest with you, I do want to teach Junia about archery first. That might take precedence. He like when he said a little bit.
Jack,
But I'll get to you.
That was more me just saying because I have the riding skill and I haven't used it yet. Like Tariq knows how to ride things.
Yeah, but that's not the language Flay speaks.
That's so good response.
And Flay trots off into the distance. And you see he like gathers like he begins writing like some of the some men and speaking to them, and he gathers like a party of 6 other men all on horses, and the 7 of them all you see they huddle up. He goes and gathers them all. He huddles them all up. Seems to be giving them instructions, and then the 7 of them all ride off into different directions, riding through the city to find Graham Norser somewhere.
I have a question. I could spark up something.
I don't know if I want sparks right now. We're coming on the end of the session.
I really wanted to do something.
We're cooling off. We're descending. I don't think I need any sparks to spike us back up. What is it?
I was gonna ask if Tariq wanted to tell us what it is, since we're not looking for Graham anymore. Because Tariq has something to say.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, good. I really want to.
Break it down for us.
So anyway, Tariq, did you have something to tell us, or did you want to wait for Graham?
I do want to wait for Graham to
It makes sense. It makes sense.
to debrief again.
Obviously.
You could also just say, I explained that to Graham when Graham gets back.
No, it makes sense to explain to everyone at once. I agree.
I feel like we should get him.
Fuck you, Jack.
Well, I have some important information to share.
Yeah, go ahead.
That we don't necessarily need Graham here to say it, but I have some things to share. Is Darlin still here?
Yes.
All right, then I'm gonna reappropriate the way I was about to say it. Naren, you realize he's going to be doing us favors after this is all done, right? And he was not very happy with your lack of appearance, shall I say, this morning. We were supposed to be together, and he's starting to look very loosely upon us in terms of being a prestigious party. I think it's priority number 1 to get our act together and maybe stick together more, maybe communicate ideas more. This is just what I'm thinking is the best strategy going forward, especially with this fire and someone out there who's seeking harm on our one person that we're working with. So, I just think that going forward, please communicate ideas to me, to Tariq, to Junia, to all of us. Please, let's just talk about things before we rush off and do them. I understand.
I've got a proposition.
Yes.
We're relatively loose these times around, as you said yourself. I think that it would be a good idea if we simply decide to. We've been having to vote and all that, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of talking. I trust you a lot, Pierre. I trust your judgment. Really? I trust your experience here, at least for our duration in Penrite. I personally believe that most, if all decisions should be finalized and taken by you.
You mean like
you can talk about it, of course, but what I mean is your word is final, and we must listen to it. I think one would help, especially because we've been very impulsive. Some people have, and also just everything else.
I could understand this for Penrite, it being Pierre's
yes,
hometown,
of course.
But once we leave, I think that's a different story.
That's what I said. I said for Penrite, at least for the duration of Penrite, I think we should entirely leave decisions up to Pierre, so we can at least get through this thing efficiently.
Jack was about to hit a pen. I'm sorry. That's it.
I don't know if the others agree, but
I love a good old pen.
Considering our lack of organization so far, I think it would be I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think that's a smart idea.
I'm sure we'll voice our opinions if we disagree.
I don't not listen to you guys. I take everything you have to say with a reasonable amount of certainty, and I trust you all sincerely. But I recognize that we are failing as a party, and we are not much of a prophecy right now.
Wonderful then. I suppose you are now our leader, at least for this time of day.
I have to say though, something just does not feel right about this fire.
I agree. No, I think we're in the hottest of hot pots of water we've ever been in.
Whoever set this fire is a madman that we're dealing with.
Well, then we'll simply kill him. If he's a threat to everyone, let's get rid of him.
Although I think Carmen has a point, I do want to know why.
Speaking of Carmen, where is she?
That's
very engrossed in this conversation. Last you saw, she was walking towards the palisade with Naren, the Baron or Duke, depending on your persuasion.
I can't believe there's Duke. His name
is Citizen Naren.
His middle name is Luke.
Naren Luke, the Duke.
Naren Baron, the Luke Darren.
His title is Luke. Naren Baron. Okay, anyways. Naren's named, fuck that.
Aside.
Carmen was leaving towards the palisades with Naren, and you're all very engrossed in this conversation. You do not see her pink robes anymore. She seems to have... See, can you imagine he builds up the camp and he's like, "Oh guys, Carmen's missing." Oh. You meet up with him and you're like, "What'd you do with Carmen?" He's like, "Answer me riddles 3 and maybe you'll see."
Which hand could it be?
Can you answer this?
I can answer this.
Everyone knows you never do a witch quest.
Yeah, Carmen seems. You know, I'm just gonna let you guys see what happened. You guys saw that Carmen went to the palisade, and her big tent in the middle, which I forget if I said is destroyed, but it's not anymore if it was. She entered the tent with Naren. There's the two of them, and you guys can even see from like where you are right now that the huge hulking figure of that like metal figure of his guard is standing in front of the tent flap, the entrance. With his like sword in hand, like actually it's not sheathed, it's unsheathed, but he's standing with like his arms crossed, making himself look as big as possible, in front of the tent flap. And I think that's where we will end session.
Woo! Bada bing, bada boom.
I said about
Asher,
9
you're not
sentences.
the only one with a knife in your room.
I said about 9 sentences that entire campaign.
Yeah, I said like all of my like, ooh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to go do that. They went nowhere.